Good morning, everyone. It's bright and early, and Lexi and I have a video for you. Hey guys! So Alexis and I are here today to talk to you about NGOs and organizations that we appreciate or support that you guys may not know about. So let's start with the organization IUCN. So the way that I describe it to people, they're kind of like the UN.
For conservation in general, so IUCN is actually the oldest and largest environmental organization in the world. It was founded in 1948, which is very cool. But yeah, it's essentially an organization that brings tons of people together from the conservation community. So it has a massive network of members, of experts that all work towards different goals. So we have people who work on forests, we have people who work on oceans, on water, so many cool colleagues doing different things. And yeah, the core of IUCN is science-based recommendations.
So the next one on our list is the WWF, the World Wildlife Fund. And their headquarters are actually, they're just merging in with IUCN here in Switzerland. Woohoo, neighbors! Yeah, they're a really great organization because they support a whole bunch, like a plethora of different causes, like not just animals, but environmental. I think you should check out their website. They've got places where you can donate. I'm sure you may have heard of Adopt an Animal, which is another great initiative. I've met the WWF International Director, Marco Lambertini, and the WWF China CEO, and I spoke to him about the different issues. It's not all just wildlife focuses, but like wind power and stuff. So yeah, definitely you should check them out.
And what's cool about IUCN and WWF is that they're trying to bridge this human and environment, which is really cool. It's about sustainable use of resources and making sure that people who are dependent on resources can continue to use them. So it's not just about preserving the environment, it's also about preserving humans' relationship with the environment, which is really important.
So the Five Gyres Institute is our next NGO that we support, and they're really focused on ocean plastics, which is something that's very close to our hearts. They're basically an institute that focuses on educating people through science and arts and entertainment. They have on their website, they've got a great spot where you can actually shop for things that a lot of your exercise clothing that you wear to the gym and have fun in, when you wash it, a lot of the microfibers, the plastics, come out in your washing machine and they go through into water treatment. They're often hard to catch, and so they can end up in the ocean. It's a very sneaky form of ocean plastic pollution. And Alexis recently bought...
Yeah, I recently bought a Guppy Friend. So it's basically a little bag that you wash your stuff, and then when you take it out, there's some, microfibers that remained, and you just put them in the bin so they don't go into the water system, which is really helpful. But what I really like about Five Gyres is that they do a lot of science. All of their recommendations are science-based, and they actually recently did an expedition to look for microplastics, and they actually made a documentary about it. It's called Smog of the Sea. It's really cool work that they're doing over there.
And Jack Johnson's in it. I love him so much. Alright, so the next organization that we want to talk to you about, because we mentioned Jack Johnson, is Jack Johnson's foundation, which is called the Kokua Hawaii Foundation. And they're primarily focused on education, which is great, and it's something that's close to Alexis and I's hearts because we're focused on education, hence why we're here. Woohoo!
Yeah, it's so awesome. They do really great programs. They do kind of focus on getting kids outside and showing them to love nature, and then they'll be more inclined to preserve it. And they do Plastic Free Hawaii, which is a really cool program where they kit out people and teach them how to live without plastic. And it's really focused on communities in Hawaii, which is where Jack Johnson is from. So he's really given back to his community, which is really, really cool.
And if any of you guys have watched any of our other videos and you've seen my very famous little tin Plastic Free Hawaii green bottle, that's the brand. It's nice. They do great water bottles.
Yeah, and bamboo cutlery.
And bamboo cutlery, yahoo! So yeah, organization, the Sea Shepherd Foundation. But yeah, so Sea Shepherd's like hardcore. They're like one of the, I think they're so cool. But basically they are tasked with trying to protect the oceans from things such as literally down to pollution, and sort of like stopping it at the source. More notably, they're known for going out off the shores and stopping whaling, shark finning, overfishing, or protecting endangered species, and enforcing laws that governments or organizations may have put in place. They're the people who actually, hold it together.
Yeah.
So they do quite more extreme things. So it's just good of you to know that and understand and educate yourself on these organizations and really make sure you understand everything they stand for.
Awesome. A massive problem with the oceans is essentially that the oceans are regulated but only within what they call exclusive economic zones, so from a country's borders into their coastal territories, but beyond that it's what we call the high seas. It's unregulated, and what happens a lot is that vessels and stuff will go out into the high seas, and a lot of kind of really bad environmental things happen in the high seas because there's no real framework or legal framework yet to govern activity on the high seas. So
anyway, that was really quick. We're gonna list like a whole bunch here. I hope that maybe this has piqued your interest in at least a few of those. We didn't choose those like super selectively. We kind of just like pick them off the top of our heads because there's so many organizations that we love.
Yeah.
But definitely like check the description and we will link to you all of our ones that we really like.
Awesome.
So, yeah, awesome.
And though these organizations are doing awesome work and it's super important to support them, it's also really important to take on a role yourself, which is why you can watch our other videos and see how you can make your own personal contribution to this plastic disaster.
Exactly. Be your own non-governmental organization. How sexy does that sound? Yeah. Woo. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.